Hi, I'm Nicole Linton, and I played Cordelia Collins in Stab. Cordelia was written for me, like definitely like one of the characters that I can easily play because it kind of parallels my personality anyways. Just very like kind of out there, got like that like, I don't know, energy about her and like sass and everything, and definitely like one of those girls that doesn't put up with shit or whatever, and you know, like looks out for her friends. I was the main girl's best friend. As far as filming went, we had to rent a hotel space, so we wanted to make sure that we nailed it, got it done. We had a couple days to do this, as well as, you know, I had to take time off of work, and due to COVID and everything, everyone needs every bit of money they can get. So I was like, we got to get this done in this week. Even with all the filming and stuff, we never had any COVID scares amongst us. Like, everybody was fine. We were very safe about filming, you know, being like masked up in the hallways, in the elevator. When we were in the room, we were fine with each other. We had all like, you know, made sure everybody was like good and everything. And just, you know, make sure you wash your hands and all that good stuff, and no issues. So when I first arrived on the first day, I just went in there and we did the phone call between me and Hannah. You know, Hannah's just talking to a screen and I'm just kind of talking to a screen, and there's nothing, like there's no actual thing going on moving forward. We had the Zoom calls. Same thing, I kind of had to get a look at everyone else's, what they did, just to get a feel for it, because here I am just kind of like blankly talking into a camera and acting like we're all doing this thing together. But he did have the idea of using this recording where it had the lines, so that way you're not just like, wah, wah, wah. It was a little bit easier because you had something to go off of. You were like, okay, that's my line, that's my line, and that was the one that came before. So when that was happening, that was good, but like there was definitely human errors, because like you gotta press pause, play, stop, and it's not that easy because it just is so quick and like just one right after another. So it's like there was times I was trying to do it and then I was like, but you skipped my line. And so we'd have to like go back and do it again. Josh definitely was helpful like with me, like so I could do the whole like feeding the lines off of what he was doing, even though we had the little recorder thing. You know, when you fuck up, mess up, whichever, at least it's like after the third time you got that. You're like, yep, okay, here we go. Then we went forward because Hannah arrived, and we were doing one of our scenes where she had just arrived actually in the movie to the hotel room, and I'm in the shower and everything, and then she's freaking out because she gets a phone call from the ghost, and I'm trying to calm her down. But it was funny because here we are acting, and we're best friends that have known each other for like 20 something years. This is our only second film working together, and she's just like grabbing at me a lot. Like she was just like trying to hold my hands, and I was like, okay, we don't do this in real life. I don't know what to do with this. So I'm just trying to like it's okay, like calm down, hey girl, like, you know. But it was just one of those moments where I was just like, so after we had wrapped that up, that was all great and everything. Plus Josh had to be like, okay, so let's take your shower scene and like not show your boobs. And so I was like, you know, it's okay if I'm topless in front of Josh. He's very professional and we're in there. And plus it's not like it's doing anything for him. But I'm like, you know, like whatever. And he's getting like his shot and I'm like, hey, I know, like whatever. Coming on out and like got my towel on. That was good. And I'm like, I also had spun it to my boyfriend like after the fact. Like, so there's a shower scene, but I'm not naked. It appears to be, but I'm not. That went fine as well. And then, so after we had done that, like all of a sudden, I think other people had started trickling in and everything else. So we ended up doing our party scene. And in this party scene, we're all like in the room, I'm drunk. We're waiting on more people. I like had a bump too, and I'm trying to like hide it because I'm like trying to like lay there and look like I'm wasted and whatnot. And this is like the first film that I actually couldn't be drinking to get the real authentic effect. So I was, you know, trying, but I think it was better. I think it helped me a lot in that instance. I was really fake drinking, okay? So, but that was fun. I'm like, and then I did notice like, you know, a couple things like where I'm like, because I've never fake drank before. So I noticed like a couple things after the fact. I'm like, okay, moving forward, I could do that better. And, you know, it was a lot of fun, like, because we all had to have like a reaction to like Josh, I'm pretty sure this is in that moment where we were like on the phone with him and he wasn't there and everything else. So we're all like reacting to him. And was that like when the killer came? I'm pretty sure it was. And then all of a sudden we're like, ah! Like, so it worked out pretty cool. So then moving forward from that, we went and fast forwarded. I think this was the second day of filming that we were doing the wake up time or whatever, where Claire wakes up and she's freaking out because she sees like writing on the glass, and supposedly this police officer's been outside our room all night, like, you know, making sure we're okay, and I've been passed out drunk like the night before. So I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? And she's like, poof, like down, and I'm like, wake up, Claire, no. And so like, next thing you know, Mark comes in, she's all panicking, you know, because like he's the guy, but she was struggling with those lines. It was a painful experience for all of us. I know she felt it. I'm like, you know you felt it, girl. I'm like, so it was that moment where we were all kind of like, all right. And Josh was like, this is what we do. like Van Damme, like everybody, right now, focus. And he's just like this. And then he like even shortened it up because it was like the way the words were going, like bop, 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 was just not working. So he's like, fine, just do this, like this will work, you know. She's like, you know, this is what you gotta do at times, a little improv, and that always happens. So we managed to like finally get that done, and she like rolled on out of there with her little like suitcase, like, I'm done, I need to leave you guys. She goes, and you know, whatever, and we're like, oh no, we said we protect her. Well, now she disappears, so me and him are searching for her. And our next scene, well, my next scene would be also with him, and we're in the hotel room, and we're like using our phones, and he's calling people, and I'm calling people, and I get a hold of somebody, and he's like, Trevor, right? Trevor, and she's at Trevor's house, and I'm like, okay, all right, at least she's safe, she's there, whatever. And that was fun because I was like, yeah, I got it, like I got these lines down, and like Mark would just keep on like, like he would kind of like just like, I was like, no, like why is it, whether, I don't know, it's just something that happens. And so, but we ended up like, that was a quicker, easier thing than the bathroom thing. Right after that was like the death scene. I definitely enjoyed the end part where I was able to fight because I was very involved in like the kicking ass part, and even involuntarily kicking ass because like I headbutted him and punched him in the face for real, and I felt really bad about it, but like it made it even that much more better. And like just being that person that doesn't go down like a little damsel in distress, being able to, you know, like go out with a little bit of a bang. So it was very technical. Like there was a lot of different angles that we had to get. We had to repeat lines quite a few different times just to make sure, like, and especially with like the whole like fight scene and being able to like make sure that punch looks like it's really like landing and that it's natural and it has that flow and that like the head moves and, you know, everything else. But as well as on top of those challenges of trying to make sure everything looked right, I am also pregnant and was pregnant while filming. So we had to be really careful about not like kicking me or hitting me in the stomach, and I couldn't really go as hard as I wanted to. So when he was like getting me in the chest, it was like one spot. I'm like, and we could have done different spots, you know, but I think he was just really like, I don't want to do anything to hurt this girl. Like, so it was just one of those moments where I was like, okay, in hindsight, when you're watching it, you're like, okay, we could have like, you know, maybe had a couple different like wounds going and like made it look more natural in that aspect, but it was like just coming from a good place from him. We also had Mark in the room. So then when he was on the bed in the corner and we're trying to like do the fight scene and everything, he got the perfect shot from the side when I punched his little brother in the face. And I was like, oh my God, it was just like the unveiling afterwards, you know, like, oh, do you have a fat lip? Are you bleeding? Are you okay? Well, the best part of filming is always hanging out with Josh. Like, I love it. It's so much fun. And the blood's always my favorite. Like the fighting, like the bloody death scene, that's like the highlight of it for me. Like everything else is great. Of course, you need the story, you need the background, you need the plot line, like all that. But like, when I get to like get in there and get bloody and whoop some ass, that's where I thrive. So we really appreciate all your support, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the fans. Thank you so much. Definitely was one of my like favorite films like here, and we are excited to film more. We've got some scripts that are in progress right now, so when those will come out, that'll be awesome. But definitely I look forward to, you know, doing it again. I don't see myself stopping in the foreseeable future at all. Actually, quite the contrary. My now almost 13-year-old daughter is like desperate to be in one of these as well. So we're going to have to figure that one out too and get her going on this. But
She's looking at me, y'all. She's looking at me.
yes. Thank you so much for watching and your continued support. And I can't wait to get bloody for you again.